themselves would whisper of death. And thus the temple that you see began to change with the succession of viziers and the cult's generations. We are building it still, slowly but surely. Why is it you have invited me here? Death whispered your name and commanded us to honor you with a sacred ritual, but only inside the temple can the spinners perform it. The vizier is suddenly distracted by someone invisible and nods towards empty space. Yes, we are glad he has reached this place. We are glad to serve. Might be a good idea to explain the tarot. We talked about it a few days ago. Hang on. His tarot. A deck of psychoactive cards bearing sacred and meaningful images. So it's like tarot cards. Tarot cards are used for divination and predicting the future. They are believed to be able to capture images sent by the Emperor himself. In the hands of a skilled psyker, the Emperor's tarot can be a truly potent divination tool. Alright. I don't know anything about that other than what we just read. I have walked the path of the matriarch Spider. What now? The Song of the Trailing Blood tells of a path fraught with trials. By accepting it and setting out on that path, you've passed the first one, the trial of resolve. For not everyone is prepared to shun their fear and doubt and embark on a search for the unknown, a search for death. The trial for compassion was the second one. You passed it when you put yourself, albeit briefly, in the service of another soul, a man suffering from burns. For the choice of between life and death is to be made only by those willing to take responsibility for the pain of another. The third was the trial of justice. In assuming the role of judge for an apostate of our faith, you declared your right to influence the balance of life and death that the errant soul had upset. Oh, the guy I kicked into the train? And the fourth was the trial of duty. Duty always leads to death. We are prepared to render our duty to the Undying One, fearless and accepting of our purpose, which is to serve him. You too have proven yourself prepared, for the 4 trials have brought you here. Were the trials truly necessary? Would not a conversation have sufficed? The vizier bows his head guiltily. Such are the tenets of the web. They are all we have ever known and the only life we have learned to live. The path you walked was a gift from the Undying One, and so we decided that is how we were to honor you. The vizier's sewn-shut eyes seem to peer into your face, studying it. Then he turns away and speaks into empty space again. Peace, my brother. The time has almost come. Who is it you talk to Who is it you talk to all the time? The vizier turns his head as if looking around the temple. I see echoes of those who came before us and those who were with us, but have since crossed over to the other side. My brothers and sisters raised by the cult. I hear them from beyond their deaths, they share their wisdom. I heed them. The other spinners they hear not, for that burden is mine to bear. I see your eyes are sewn shut. Are you blind, or is that another of the cult's rituals? I was sighted for much of my life until a disciple of mine violated the tenets and I realized just how blind I had been. A lesson, but a bitter one. To look with one's eyes alone is to be easily fooled, but the heart cannot be lied to. Such is the truth, and such was my choice. I sealed my eyelids with the geas of true sight. Now I see more and better. So this entire conversation is another test, I imagine? A smile graces the vizier's bluish lips. The tenets command us to be prepared for all trials, corporeal and spiritual alike. Just a second, drink of water. Are you prepared, Damin Mukluk? His mouth closes, but you can still hear his whispers. A prickling sensation in your face is making you increasingly anxious. You raise a hand to your cheek, only to realize you can't feel it. You look at your palm and see a few smudged drops of blood from the vizier's blade. A strange, serene calm envelops your body. Ooh, look at the screen. Your fatigue subsides and you seem to float in the air, seeing things you had not noticed before. The shadows in the corners taking on shapes and colors. The subdued lumen light playing on the cultist bone masks. Are they really masks? Their tall, lean, empty-eyed wearers might as well be dead people. A chill runs down your spine. Look around the temple. One moment the walls of Death's sanctums grow infinitely wide. The next, they are so narrow as to make it hard to breathe. The floor dances under your feet, and the Undying Emperor's statue seems to shake its head threateningly as it looks down upon you. Dude, I got drugged. Either by the splashing blood or the incense. Medicae. What is the meaning of this? Your heart is beating slowly. Your breathing has become deeper. Your thoughts are muddled. You seem to be under the influence of a potent stimulant. You poisoned me somehow, did you not? The Vizier nods meekly. My blood is infused with a concoction taken by those who follow the thread. It is sacred and harmless to us, but it befogs and afflicts. And yet, Daman Mukluk, you have grasped that the mind may yet fail the body and the senses. This was the trial of spiritual acumen. You have passed it. Guards, execute this man. He drugged me. And what happens now? That is for you to tell me. You look at the Vizier, and his trembling frame seems small and insignificant. A single step is all it would take to crush him. But the visions are starting to wear off, and now the old man towers over you. The keen gaze of his sealed eyes is studying your every movement, waiting for a response. First, you are going to give me the antidote. There is none, but I will ease its effects and quicken dissipation. 3 long, thick needles appear in the Vizier's hand. A moment later, they are inside your body, one in your neck, shoulder, and one between your ribs. You feel no pain or discomfort. On the contrary, your mind feels clearer and your muscles regain their function. The Vizier then carefully removes the needles. Now you will feel better. So, I don't really love either of these options. One is enough tests and trials, your insolence crossed all reasonable lines, you'll be punished. Which I would assume, which kind of sounds like it's going to end whatever this story is, right? But the whole point of the DLC is to, see the new content. The other one is make me a servant of death. Which kind of sounds like becoming a blade dancer, which is not my character. But, I think we picked number 1 to see the more of the story. Now you are going to initiate me as a servant of death. A servant of death! Hiss the echoing whispers from the temple, and the Vizier bows his head reverently. You have become the blood of the flagship. Now you will become one of his faithful servants. We may not name you a spinner, for a spinner's thread demands the forsaking of one's previous life, but the blood-spun web will still accept you. The tenants allow it, but only for a Daman who has followed the trailing blood until the end. Oh god, do I have to, go into the blood waterfall? Ooh, no! Ooh! No, I'm eating sandwiches! No! Rah! Oh, there's a bunch of dead people up there! Rah! Oh my god. I'm trying to eat my peanut butter and jelly. Upon the ritual platform at the Undying Emperor's feet, under the keen gaze of his dark, empty eye sockets, you feel completely insignificant. Surprisingly, the thick blood pouring from his hands onto your brow, chest, and shoulders is still warm. They got a microwave up there. Bowed before his image, the Vizier assumes the ceremonial postures with incredible ease. His withered body moving swiftly and soundlessly. You are slowly plunged into darkness to the sound of ritual chants and swooshing blades. Amid the noise of splashing blood and the cultist whispers, you hear the words, "Death has spoken your name, Daman Mukluk. Death accepts you." Offer a prayer to the Undying Emperor. Each word consecrated to him echoes in your temples and chest. Your veins become hot, your blood turns to liquid flame. You have no fear in you. A whisper seems to come from you from the Emperor's lips of stone. I see you. Could the lingering intoxication be playing tricks on your mind? This big incense bearer is just, whee! Whee! Just... A strange rash you developed on the freight line's pestilence pit grows pale and scabs over. A healing grace descends upon you. Okay. So the blood waterfall cured the rash? The Vizier's voice grows suddenly thunderous and snaps you out of your reflections. Death has accepted you, Daman Mukluk. Now and for all time, you are the Blood Warden and the Undying One's most venerable servant. It felt as if the God Emperor was watching me. Too many. He comes during their time of service, in images of blood and whispers from the shadows. But remember that those are mere visions. For true death will not come for you until your time, and it will take your soul gently in its bony hands. Blood Warden. Very flattering. I will add it to my other titles. Now that you are part of the blood-spun web, remember henceforth to beware of vanity, for it leaves gaping rents in the armor of our souls. So the ritual is complete. The ritual is complete, but you are not. The Vizier gestures for one of the cultists, who is carefully holding a strange garment, to come closer. For years we have maintained fealty to the Domini. We have collected sacred symbols and relics. You are the first in 3 generations of lords and ladies who to grace this sanctum, and the first of them all to be initiated so. We are grateful. We are uplifted in spirit. Hear our exaltation and accept this gift as a vestment sewn from the bones of his faithful with the threads of death. Spinner's Ritual Vestments. When I read, we are uplifted in spirit, hear our exaltation, I was just imagining all of these assassins being like, oh! The cultists whisper prayers to the Undying One as they help you change your clothes and regain your faculties. Steam achievement. You became a spinner of the blood-spun web. They did not change my clothes. Oh, I guess they just like, got me out of bloody clothes and then did my laundry. Let's see. That's actually really good for me. Higher armor, same dodge, and then bonus dodge when you're not in cover. Bonus damage reduction, and plus strength bonus wounds. Wounds is just hit points in this game, so higher max health. And it looks like a ribcage. Very hardcore. Okay, that was wild. A crimson torrent flows from the statue's hands, a symbol of the countless deaths offered up in his name.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Ribbed for your pleasure? Lol. Underneath the ancient relic is a stone plaque with an inscription carved in elegant cursive. If you value life above duty, you are not worthy of life. Vizier Geophrenus. Crimson Intoxicants. Blood Drinker. Whenever the wearer makes a melee attack, they regain a wound. Oh my god. Well, she makes a lot of melee attacks.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
We need a mini of Mux reading this dialogue while also hearing "wee" each time that chandelier passes.
Applaud my brilliance.
Spinner's Blade. Bloody Pact. This knight grants its wielder a special ability called Crimson Rage. The wielder can suffer damage equal to 25% of their max wounds to regain an action point. Can be used multiple times per turn as long as the wielder has at least 50% wounds. So you can feed your health for more actions.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Cast your eye there.
Wait, what? Oh. Already read that. Part of the cult's service to the Undying One involves turning the corpses of the departed into sacred altars for blood-anointed congregation to pray at. Okie dokie. Is there anything else to do here right now? Domin Mukluk has honored us with a visit. We are glad. First Spinner. Peace, Kibilla. You are the shield. You are the shadow. You are the blade. So be them. Okay. What are the tenets of the blood-spun web? I want a clear answer. Every thread ends in death. The Vizier falls silent as though those words have explained everything. Then he nods toward empty space. Yes, I see he is still full of questions. Let us give him answers about our ways, my brothers and sisters. The followers of the web are skillful fighters. What is your secret? He smiles gently. I cannot share the full wealth of my knowledge, for it has taken me a lifetime to learn. But I can share this foremost lesson with you that is guided by reason, not fury. When you fight, and seek no pleasure in killing, that is how you will win. What do your tenets say about human weaknesses? The smallest stain of rot is enough to ruin the most beautiful woven pattern. Weakness is a gateway into the soul, one we hold open for new failings. It is born of desire. Kill your desires, and your weakness will die along with them. What is your supreme commandment? To give and receive death, and to fear no twist or turn of fate. One who is afraid of death is already dead in their soul, waiting for the end. Afraid to accept the inevitable. A life of fear is disgraceful. The true service is dedicating oneself to death with no regrets. I see. Your traditions and rituals are rooted in blood and death. Many are frightened by that. Many are blind even when their eyes are wide open. Thus spoke the matriarch Spiner. People look at things without seeing their essence, which makes them easy to beguile or frighten. We adorn the tunnels with the bones of the righteous, that they may guard our faithful against corruption and corrupt deeds and thoughts. We use the blood of the unholy ones for divination, so that we may see dangers. The blood of martyrs is our wine, for their suffering makes us stronger. People are afraid, but only because they see death as the end. Death, however, is a beginning. It is life and duty and oblivion. Death has many facets. That is its essence. That is its beauty. Okay.
There will be no peace in my wake.
A spinner, his face covered in bleeding glyphs, makes a respectful gesture of invitation. Let me show you the way to Daman. The way to what? The spinner points his finger upward as the ventilation shaft through which you reach the temple the first time. The path to where the lay people dwell in complex. Web-like. Let me show you. Show me the way. Okay. So now we can go to other spots. Alright, let's go back to the bridge. My voice is getting hoarse. I love this game, but my voice gets hoarse doing so much reading. I'm gonna finish my sandwich. Did you do any work on your PC? Yeah. Last night, I went back to troubleshooting, and in looking up the error code that I was having, there was multiple things that people had listed, oh, this fixed it for me, right? A couple of people said moving their RAM around. And even they were like, I don't know why this worked, but it did. So if my RAM in the slots in the computer were 1, 2, 3, 4, I opened the computer up last night, and I had to move a lot of stuff to get to it, but I moved them, and so now they are 4, 3, 2, 1. So I moved all the sticks. I have no idea if that's going to help, but I stayed up late doing that last night to see if it would. So if we have another crash in the future, then I'll know that that didn't help, and then we go on to trying the next thing. Alright. Let's see. I'm curious, can I talk to... Where is she? Her, Kibla. I want to talk to Kibla and see if she has anything new after me doing all that weird stuff.
Daman.
Ah! What are you doing? Daman Mukluk. Kibla puts away the dagger she's been using to reopen her freshly cut wounds. Gesture at the scars covering her skin. You torture your own flesh. What is the meaning of this ritual?
Torture? I bear the sacred marks of the Undying One's service. Death has bestowed them upon me. Though others may cherish hollow riches or meaningless beauty, it is my duty to cherish his gift of blood. Each wound is a symbol of our service to him. Each drop of blood carries his blessing. To renounce these scars is to renounce the Undying One himself.
Can you fix her, Muck? Oh, yeah. I could. But I'm gonna be honest, Henry, whatever is wrong with her is way hotter.
Death whispers to me, you are worthy of bearing his marks. Tell me, Daman, do you wish to honor your flesh with his gifts?
I assume this will not be a painless procedure.
I have not felt pain in a long time. But yes, your body will certainly suffer. Embrace the pain and make it a part of you. It will be your salvation, even on your darkest days.
No Name Found raided my stream with 21 viewers.
No name found. You picked a heck of a time to join in. We're currently flirting with an assassin chick. Back in my day, getting a goth girl to be interested in you, you just had to, like, listen to her talk about healing crystals for a while. Now you gotta let her carve a symbol into your arm. Oh, man, it's gotten weird. The dating game is wild right now. It would be an honor to bear the mark of the Undying One.
Let it be so. Treasure his gift, Domin. Inscribe it anew each time you pray. May his blessing find you.
Kibble awaits patiently as you prepare yourself for the ritual. Once you are ready, she carefully presses her blade to your skin and carves the sacred symbol into your flesh with skillful precision. The wounds sting and burn painfully as they begin to bleed. We're just doing this right on the bridge. You always address me as Domin. What does that word mean?
The Gothic we use to communicate is different to that spoken.
Much
on
love,
the
Muck.
upper
Thank you, No
decks.
Name.
Domin has many meanings. Giver of life, Lord or Lady of the Ark, and Shadowless Sun. The matriarch Spider gave this title to the rogue trader who allowed her to form the blood-spun web. We use other titles as well. For example, Venai means Master of the Immaterium, or Watcher of the Veil. Vil means one who must go to the other side. Amig means one you can trust in battle.
No Name says, Mug, I started a new account of yours too, completely free to play, gonna farm everything. Maybe I will get the DLCs just because they're on sale. Oh, nice! You are not the first to do a, I mean, I don't know if you would call it this, but, you know, like 0 to hero type of thing, restart a new account and, you know, see how it's like again. Are you going to, boost, or are you going to, start at level 1 and level up normally? Did you ever meet Theodora von Valancius?
I met her once when I was young. The Vizier saw a serpent hiding among those close to Domin Theodora, ready to sink its fangs into her throat.
An assassin, then.
I was ordered to find the serpent and sever the soul from its body. I watched and waited for weeks. I hid among the shadows, the air ducts and the faceless masses. Once I found the serpent, I sliced off its head and returned to the temple. I doubt that Domin Theodora ever saw me, but the 3 ritual cuts I left behind on the body let her know that this death was pleasing to him. They sent us a grand feast from the upper decks before the cycle's end. We gave it to the hungry.
Tell me about the Emperor's Tarot.
I use blood to read his sacred cards and hear the whisper of the Undying One.
Bezos, I told you to keep me subbed for those amazing Discord emojis. Mukluk Failo, hi Mukluk Bobble.
Hey, Michael, thank you.
His tarot is not an answer, but a question I ask of the universe. And the universe answers with questions of its own. In this sacred communion, I perceive hundreds of possible outcomes. They are all true, and yet they are only visions. I know what will come to pass, and yet I do not.
The thing that scares me the most is the 14 days for Aurora. Oh my god, you're gonna do Aurora again? Ugh. Lore Imperium. The Emperor's Tarot is usually read by sanctioned psychers.
I am the spear of his retribution, not a witch or a sorcerer or a soothsayer. I have no strange powers, but I do bear his blessing. I do not command the veil. I am guided by his whisper and led by my faith, by the tenets. Please, do not mistake me for something I am not.
Lore warp test succeeded. You occasionally feel a shiver run down your spine or detect faint sparks in the air when you're standing next to Kibula. It seems her powers only manifest when practicing divination or in moments of pious exaltation. Kibula herself does not seem to be aware of her gift. Can you give me a reading?
Ask the cards, Domin, and I will listen.
Kibela carefully takes out her Imperial Tarot deck. A black blade flashes before your eyes, and blood drips from her palm onto the cards. That's bad for the cards. She closes her eyes and listens. What does the future hold for me? Kibela draws 4 cards from the deck and lays them face down before you.
The first card is the young warrior. It suggests inexperience, a path of becoming. The second card is the shattered world inverted. The path will have twists, turns, and thorns, but you will gather allies along the way and find what was lost. The third, the hound inverted. Someone has marked you as their prey and is chasing you through a field of traps. The lost child. You will leap into one of those traps of your own free will and place your trust in someone truly desperate.
I have no more questions at this time. How did you come to have a deck of his tarot?
It is a holy relic that has been passed down from generation to generation. Only the first and second spinners are allowed to study the sacred cards and interpret their meaning. We use his tarot to guide the
Apparently my
cult
subscription
and
had
discern the
lapsed.
tangled
Have some Bezos bucks.
Thank you, Mr. Mattyman.
threads of fate.
How many cards are in your deck?
34. There used to be more, but some have perished in the darkness of time. Their loss is a great tragedy for the blood-spun web.
Alright, must take my leave.
May the Undying One shroud your footsteps from the faithless.
Alright, cool. So, we made quite a chunk of progress on the first DLC. And did a few other things as too. Well... Oh, I didn't see this. If worn by Death Cult Assassin, when the wearer gains a stack of Blood Blessed, they also gain plus 10 toughness for 2 rounds. Does not stack. So that goes on her. Okay. Alright. So we are going to save our progress here. I want to allow a few minutes to go over the new Guild Wars 2 news, and we'll be back on Rogue Trader in the morning.